Alright, so 6/9 of the way complete. I don't know what I was thinking before. There's actually 108 times 3 of these holes to fill. So that's 324 of them overall. 324 drill points, 324 feet. Actually, these are closer to 13 inches. So that's more than 324 feet by just a bit. Well, an extra inch plus 300 inches. That's definitely a good amount going on right there. 330, 40 feet, I guess is it so far. So I've done the two sides, and after I finished this one, I don't know if I shot any video for it, but I quickly realized that I was going to need a lot more aluminum tubes going on. So I put these two guys on the middle, and I added an extra one over on this side, and I may still wind up adding an extra one over here and diverting these guys over to that side. We'll see how that goes. Theoretically, I could add a third tube over here and divert this over to there and then use these two for this middle one if this idea doesn't work out. I glued them on a few hours ago with super glue. They seem kind of stable so far. We'll see how well that holds up under actual usage. So this is definitely going to be a mess. You can't really get a 90-degree angle on these going underneath, but I will be able to get close. And essentially all of these threads here have to link. The video cut out just as I was talking there. And the only thing I was going to mention next was the apparent mess, which is currently the bottom of the floor here, or the underside rather. So with another 108 threads to add to all this, it's definitely going to get confusing. Maybe a mess is too strong a word. And the other note is that all of these threads need to link up to the same set of LEDs on the sequencer, which looks like it's going to be going somewhere right in the middle here. Originally I had thought I was going to have sections, several LED tubes for every area. I think I can do just a single section, like I said, with the large 10mm LEDs. One of the things I do have to consider is what is on the underside of the hull here. For example, well, we'll skip the example for now, but I will get to it. Here's an example. That's one of the landing bay areas that I cannot put anything near. This silver line here is the central circle for where the fusion core is going to go. I put a couple posts in this area here to help keep the floor flat. Those may have to be pulled out or moved depending on where I put all of this. So with 108 more threads to go, let me get to that, and pretty soon this will be done. A couple other notes is that until I glue these in, well, I don't know if I'll be gluing them in actually. I don't know how I'm going to stabilize these in here, but I will have to give every single one of these threads an individual tug to make sure that each one is flush, or as flush as it can be, against this wall. The bloom on the ends of them definitely has them sticking out just a little. But I think once these are lit, once the freezer tubes are back in place, once the shell is around it, you're really not going to be able to see that too much. And as that's an inherent function of the nature of the fiber optics, there's really no way around that except to keep the bloom as very small as possible. So I don't know if I mentioned it in any of the other videos, but after a lot of searching I finally found this, which is just about a foot all the way around, and it gives me a nice little ledge to be able to clip the fiber off of. Actually, I don't need 108 more because I have a few right here. So let me thread these up, and then I'll count how many more I need and thread those from there. So let's see if I can actually get a good angle on what I'm looking at right here as I'm doing this. Now, I really don't. In order for me to see, the camera's not going to be able to see. And for the camera to see very well, It'd pretty much have to be built into my eyeballs, and since I can't afford a cybernetic upgrade at this point with the video recording option, we're gonna have to let it go, I think. I would like to see how long this actually takes though. Hopefully I've got enough to do one of these areas, but I don't quite think so. The process itself is simple enough. It's probably a little more difficult than threading a needle simply because of the tension of the fiber optic itself, the exacting fit, and the fact that fiber optic has a memory and thread doesn't, so it's always going to be in this curve until it gets shaped to something else over time. One other thing I've been doing as I go along is when I've found holes that aren't quite fully cleared out, I've been taking the drill and giving them another pass, and that helps out a lot. For a little while I was just trying to force it through, but it's just a lot easier to drill the hole anew. Just 2 threads short. So I'll need 73 more feet. Fiber optics cut really nice and easy with regular scissors. And now I have to bloom all these edges. That has been a fairly simple process, as you have likely seen so far.